Put down the pesticides, you do not need them for healthy houseplants. I'm Tony Le-Britton and welcome to Plants with Impact, a series where I show you how to care for your houseplants so they don't only survive but thrive in your home. This is my Philodendron Bipinnatifidum and I want to show you that you don't need pesticides for happy, healthy houseplants. This is my Philodendron Bipinnatifidum. It comes under a lot of different names if you're looking for it. Sometimes it's called Thrips Bipinnatifidum, sometimes it's known as Philodendron Xanadu, and even Philodendron lickety-split. I've had this plant for about 5 years and I bought it when all of the leaves were about this size and it was completely infested with pests. I spent almost 2 years battling pests using pesticides. And then one day I realized that all of these pesticides were just covering the plant in chemicals and it was weakening the plant and actually not getting rid of the pests at all. Many of the pests nowadays in houseplants have become really resilient to pesticides, so we're fighting a losing battle taking that approach. And then I had a light bulb moment. In the garden, I've never used pesticides and instead rely on nature and focus on plant health to keep pests at bay. So I flipped how I was dealing with pests inside and put my focus onto getting the plants as happy and healthy as possible. And within months, I saw a difference in the growth of the plants. This one started out with leaves this size, and nowadays it still gets occasional pests, but it has huge leaves and it grows tremendously well. Philodendron Bipinnatifidum is native to the southern part of South America. And within its leaves, it has calcium oxalate, which acts as an irritant to predators going to eat it. And it's said that it feels like 100 needles in the mouth, so it's not safe to be around pets and definitely don't eat it. Giving your plant the optimum care is the best way to help it prevent problems with pests. And for the Philodendron Bipinnatifidum, that means getting a really good amount of light. Definitely somewhere it's going to get direct sun on its leaves for at least 3 to 4 hours a day. East or west works great, but I have this one in a south-facing room, so it gets baked in direct sun for a lot of the day. The next thing to keep it really healthy is feeding. I check this plant weekly, but only water it when it feels really dry. And the quick and easy way I found to do that is to just lift the pot up, and I know exactly how light it feels when it's ready to be watered. It's a really easy way to check. With this plant being so big in such a relatively small pot, I actually feed this with every watering, and about once a month I'll flush it through with clean water to remove a buildup of nutrients. At home, for a smaller plant, I'd say fertilise it every other watering, and in between, water as normal to flush out those extra nutrients as well. To manage pest numbers, I recommend when you're watering your plants, you shower the whole thing down, or as I do with this one, I pop it in the garden and give it a hose down, and then the most important thing is to follow with a damp microfiber cloth to just wipe away any pests. If you just support the leaf so you're not going to cause any damage, and wipe across the surface, and don't forget underneath the leaves. Any pests there are going to be wiped away, and you're almost acting as a beneficial predator like you get in the garden. You're never going to get rid of all of the pests, but you're going to keep their numbers to a low enough level so the plant's health isn't affected. So remember, you do not need pesticides for your houseplants for them to be happy and healthy. I think this plant is testament to that.